Dank, Farrik, Ichuda, Mudscruffer, Banthapoodoo, or you scruffy looking nerf herder. That's right, you know 'em and I just said 'em. Star Wars swear words. They are the most dirty mouth things in the entire galaxy, or the biggest insults that you could throw at your friendly neighborhood smuggler. But they're all over our favorite galaxy far, far away, and so we are going to look at them in this very video. That's right, we're going to take a deep dive into these wacky, intense, but yet so real sounding phrases that hail right from the mind of George Lucas, Dave Filoni, and Jon Favreau. This is Dank Farrik, the new channel on the block, and I will be your host for the day, and these are Star Wars swear words.
Nice to see a familiar face. Ichuta. How rude.
The first, the classic Ichuda. We just saw one of our favorite Gold Protocol droids, our favorite Gold Protocol droid get verbally smacked down with the word Ichuda by one of his own silver counterparts during his infamous trip in The Empire Strikes Back all the way to Cloud City. And so that shows us that Ichuda is going to be the first word that we are about to look at, and not the reworked and similar version of the word that they threw into Mando Season 1, which we will go over as well. No, we are going to look at the OT use of the word. That is original trilogy. We are going to look at the rudest and dirtiest version right from The Empire Strikes Back, right from the good old days. So then, looking at it, Ichuta. But before we define it, I do have to give the forewarning that this is not a story the Jedi would tell you. But without further ado, and my mandatory Sheev reference out of the way, let's do this.
Do it.
Ichuta. It's a dirty word, and some official translation texts say they can't even do the task for you, it's so dirty. But that doesn't mean I won't, that's what I'm here to do after all. Anyways, when you break it all down, Ichuda is essentially saying, F you, eat shit, or screw off. So now you can see maybe why C-3PO was so taken back and insulted by it. It's definitely the rudest way to cross paths with someone. Straight from Coruscant to Cloud City, it's just plain rude. It's a straight up insult, telling people why they aren't worth your time and to back the heck off. But for context, let's take a look at another version of the word, Ichuta. You can see the difference now on screen, take a look.
Ichuta, Mando.
Ichuta is a polite word, and it's used as a respectful or well-mannered greeting in the affirmative. And then you have the main word we're looking at, the root word, the swear word, Ichuta. And as you can see, the switching of vowels is what makes it get dirty. So you have these two meanings, two similar but very different words. So make sure you do not mix them up the next time you're trying to bypass an Imperial inspection. The stormtroopers and Imperial officer on duty will not take too nice to it. Alright, nerf herders, on to number 2. We're going to take a look at our next word, and that word is Kriff or Kriffing. This word has been seen across the Timothy Zahn novels and many other places in the old legends, even in the Old Republic books that came out some years back. So now, as we take a look into legends, I like to say that this is where the fun begins. Kriff or Kriffing is pretty much the true equivalent to our infamous F-bomb. It's been used in a number of ways in legends and the books and seems to have human origins in the galaxy. If you want to hear an example, one of them would be, if this is a hoax, it's a Kriffing good one, if you'll pardon the language, sir. But anyways, while we are on the topic of galactic F-bombs or things that can be used similarly to them, you will find another honorable mention, and that mention is Poodoo. Now, Poodoo doesn't necessarily translate into the F word in the way Kriff does, but it can be used in similar ways, at least in terms of an insult, a pretty strange one anyways. So Poodoo is a word of Huttese origin, just like Ichuda, but it means something different. Technically, it's the Huttese word for fodder, such as Banthapoodoo. However, those with a Huttese tongue take it to twist it a bit to its own meaning in times of frustration, annoyance, and anger. Plus, calling someone Poodoo, Banthapoodoo, Jedi Poodoo is not the kindest thing either. It, like the others, is a straight up insult.
How rude!
And on to the next one, Slimo. Now, this is proof that Star Wars is a strange place. The things you can call others isn't always as vulgar as what we do here in the real world. Look at Nerf Herder, for example. I mean, come on. But now, instead, we're gonna look at another Huddies word, and that word, as I just said, is Slimo. And, Slimo isn't the nicest thing to call somebody either. It kinda means loser or sucker. Let's say you just dupe somebody on a deal. You'd laugh in their face and then call them a Slimo. Or maybe you just passed someone in a pod race and you wanted to get cocky about it, even though you shouldn't.
Great kid, don't get cocky.
But still, you call him a Slimo. And, this is still enough, even though while not as harsh or vulgar as Ichuta or Kriff, to still get a lot of people in the galaxy far, far away quite upset. Nobody likes being poked at and called a sucker or a loser in real life, and I promise you, nobody does in the Star Wars universe either. That's whether they're from the far reaches of the Outer Rim or as far in as Corellia. Slimo pisses people off. And anyways guys, that hands it to you. A short video on a few Star Wars insults and swear words. I'm thinking if this video does well, I'm gonna work on another and round up some of the deeper ones in a second video. Maybe a small series on the slang and words like this in the Star Wars universe. But this one was just to get us going. But anyways, as always, if you enjoyed this, please toss a like or even subscribe. It helps tons as I work to grow this still really new and small channel. But as always, my fellow Nerf herders, may the Force be with you and stay safe out there. I'll be catching you on the next one.